Hello everyone and welcome back to In the Studio with Ophelia. I'm Ophelia and thank you all so much for joining me today. So, if you will remember, a few videos back, I did that art haul. And today I just wanted to play around with some of the stuff that I got in that haul. I am hoping you don't think that I forgot about all the stuff that I got in that haul and won't use that stuff. I am guilty of buying things and not using things and then later finding things and trying to figure out what I was going to do with those things. So today we are going to pull out some alcohol inks and quite a few papers or different papers and just kind of play around with some alcohol inks. So if you like this video, I would love for you to give me a thumbs up and definitely subscribe, please, and hit that notification bell so that you can be in with all of this situation. So I'll stop talking, flip the camera around, and let's get into playing around with some alcohol inks. Thanks for watching, guys. I started out by grabbing those papers that I'd gotten in that haul video, and I cut them all down into smaller squares just to be manageable. I've got a spray bottle of water as well as a spray bottle of alcohol. And I'm using this tray just so that I won't make such a mess on my desk, as well as my collection of alcohol inks. I've got some pearls, and just a variety of color, as well as the alcohol blending solution. I started out by spraying the paper down with water, as it was my hope to create lighter toned background type paper to be used with ephemera. I found that, and this was of course all experiments, and so I feel as though everything from all of this I learned. I ended up, however, with spraying it with water or spraying it with the alcohol. I made the paper just too wet, and I eventually a lot of it turned out to be a mess, and that's the great part of experimenting and learning. I don't feel as though anything was lost. I just feel as though I learned a lot, and I learned how these work, I guess. I was not out for making any sort of like art print or anything like that. I'm treating all of these as papers that I will eventually chop up and turn into collage. However, looking back now, I wish I would have taken a bit more time to just learn which colors went together well, and let them do what they're supposed to do instead of me trying to cover every inch of the paper with some sort of color. And it ended up just being a muddy type mess. When I say I was trying to create lighter toned backgrounds by spraying it down, a lot of that literally went out the window, and I just started playing around and getting out of my head what it was supposed to look like. I do know for sure that I want to play around some more with alcohol inks because I did have a lot of fun. It almost is like a mad scientist, where even when I like pull out my jelly printing plate and start playing, the more I play, the more I want to play. But you can definitely tell on a lot of these that it just got ugly really fast. And instead of me just kind of stopping and letting it dry, I just kept adding more on top of more and then trying to spray it down with like water or alcohol to kind of lighten it up, and there was no going back. It was, ugh, it just ended up being a whole lot of color splotchiness, and there's a lot of times where I really just didn't even need that much color. That paper on the top left is the Ranger alcohol ink paper, and I love how the color just explodes when it goes on. I also love that blue. It just has like a purple-ish sheen to it. But here I go again with just pouring on way too much, and instead of just kind of letting it do what it's supposed to do. And now I know, and just grab some coffee and watch. Ugh. In baseball, when my son played, when things just got really bad, we always say, like, just get out of this inning. And that's how I feel with these two on the bottom. Like, the top two I love, and so I leave those. But these bottom two, I should have just, like, walked away, got out of the inning, go back, reset. But instead, I just keep on going and keep on going. I'm using a tissue just to kind of pick up some of the liquid, and I should have stopped there, but nope, here we are with far more color being added. And it got to a point where I'd put so much on one piece of paper that it started almost like congealing or something. I don't even know what was going on. And as I did each one, I just sat them on the floor beside me to let them dry. And a lot of them just didn't make it. It was so, I had so much water sprayed on them that it all just kind of pooled and mushed together with each other. But I did learn a lot as I experimented. Going forward, I know that you don't need that much ink on a piece of paper. You just kind of put it down and let it do its thing. I do like the blending solution because that will lighten everything up. Also, I learned very few colors really do make a gorgeous piece of paper. I did not need to try to put every single color of ink that I own on one piece of paper. And I just keep going, honestly. Doing way too much. And just honestly, just playing around, experimenting. A lot of them I realize now, looking back, I should have stopped there, but nope. I just keep on going. Keep on going. And keep on going. I've sped this up a lot because I literally just take ink and paper and play, and take more ink and more paper and play. And every single time I did, I always kept feeling like, ooh, I can't wait to try it with this set of colors. A lot of times it works. Like, I do love blues and greens together. And there's that stone-washed color again that has that purple haze to it. Leave it there, Ophelia, and walk away. But nope, I just keep on adding all the colors of inks. And on and on and on I went. Just kept on going. And it was fun. It was fun. So these are the ones that survived. And I do like what I've created. Now I know. It's a lot of fun. Let's just say I had a lot of fun. I wish I would have kept better records of what colors I used and such like that, but for now it was just me playing around um, because I did not keep any sort of colors listed that I used. I can't go back and recreate exactly what I've done, and that's fine too, because I'll do this all again because I really did have fun doing it. So with all the papers in hand, I decided that wasn't enough. Let's just keep on going. So I grabbed my Posca paint pens. Because let's just keep on going. Um, I don't even know at this point what I was doing because the papers were fine as they were, but I thought, like, let's just add some more. Okay. And I'm using a scrap piece of paper to just kind of check the colors that I have. And I'm just like doodling and making marks and making messes. And it's still okay because I'm still not treating any of these as a single sheet of paper. They will all literally be used as chopped up bits. So I'm just having fun with my markers, using my toys. That's what's important. Learning along the way. That's also important. Just making doodle bits all over the paper. I honestly don't even know what type of doodle look I was going for, other than just goofing off, making marks, deciding too late that I had no clue what I was doing, which was fine. And so then it's like, well, when we're in a mess, let's just go ahead and continue the mess. And that's what you're going to watch. Me just continue to make messes. And in the end, it's fine because I've learned. Clearly, I have not learned to stop when it's time to stop. But I did enjoy playing around. I think that's, for me, that's when I have the most fun, is when I just let go of what things are supposed to look like, or in my head, like, oh, I've seen a person do beautiful floral illustrations, so I'm going to try to do that. For me, I learn the most and I have the most fun when I just let go and just play around like I want to play without making it look, in air quotes, like something else. And so that's what I ended up doing. Now let's put these guys to some use. I just grabbed my paper trimmer and I'm just going to get rid of some of the white border. And that little slip of paper, I of course save that and I'll show you in just a moment here what I do with it. But I'm just like cutting off the edges to get rid of the white part of the plain piece of paper, just to have those two. And now we're just gonna, cut things up. I go grab my little bucket of scrap pieces of paper, and I use these a lot for when I'm doing my pen pal letters to kind of decorate the bottom edge of the letters, or a lot of times I'll create little collages to just kind of glue down in my journals. So with that little piece of paper, that's what I end up doing, is just using other scrap pieces of paper, making a little collage that I will end up putting on a pen pal letter or putting it somewhere. I do just love keeping little pieces and bits of paper, and that's what that entire container is filled with. And that's kind of what I use and pull from whenever I need collage bits, or gluing down dates or slips of paper to put dates on my journal pages, or just for anything. And so that's mainly what these bits of paper, the alcohol ink papers that I've used, that's what those are going to end up mainly being used for. And I've got this piece of, it's almost like brown craft paper. And then I decide that's enough. Let's just call it quits. It's great as it is. I take that little slip of paper that I'd cut off the edge of one of the other pieces, and I grab my yellow, it's almost like a gratitude journal, and that's where I'm going to end up gluing that piece of paper down just to record the date. Or I use it like a header, and then there's that little collage bit and the other. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you hanging out with me. Grab yours and experiment as well, and I will see you next time. Bye.